I don't think the Rubik's going to be bullied out too much with either here. I guess the Kunkka is going to be the one that's more annoying with the Tidebringer. The Lesh you can kind of deal with a bit better. Should still be able to find that farm. Of course, again, it could still be a support Rubik, but knowing Cignal Ultra, we have seen Jamesy run it, and he has run it pretty fantastic.
Yeah, he doesn't really lose the mid lane very often with that Rubik. Alpha will choose a position 4 of their own in the form of the Spirit Breaker, so it looks like it'll be the offlane Kunkka mid Leshrac, or perhaps even the safe lane Leshrac. You have a lot of aggression coming out with this draft from the Dire, and I do like that. Especially considering if you do run that core Rubik, he is kind of squishy in that mid lane. So charging from that Spirit Breaker could be all the setup they need to just burst him down. We'll see how Cignal really deals with it in this final pick of their draft. It's not the biggest deal in the world, it's just going to be annoying to play against. One final ban for either side. Or Cignal performing so well as of late in this group stage of the closed qualifiers. And they did come from the open qualifiers, so it is a pretty big surprise for a lot of people how well they've been performing. Of course, taking a game off GeekFam last night, and they will actually have TNC as their opponents as the final series of the night. So depending on how they're playing today, it'd be very intriguing to see how they go up against TNC later. TNC is just currently undefeated and really uncontested. Nobody's even gotten close so far.
It's why they're the top dogs of the region, really. At least in Group B, you might say Fnatic will give them a bit of a fight in case they meet up in that second phase of the qualifiers. Nonetheless, Cignal Ultra coming through opens. Honestly, I'd say it shouldn't be a surprise for people. Again, you might not hear of this team outside of the Philippines, but they did win the Nationals, a local league. They have some really big names. Nando strikes me as a player from Execration. In fact, a few of them have gone out of old Execration, and Execration was known for going through those opens every single time into the closed. Unfortunately, really not making it too far in for the most part.
I believe it was not only Nando, it definitely was Nando, by the way. You are correct. I believe it was also Jamesy that was part of
Yeah,
Execration
James
with
as
him.
well.
Yeah.
And I think at some point Van might have been in there, like in one instance of him. Like Execration switched out players a lot, so it can be hard to track over the past 3 years, Mike.
Yeah.
But they definitely, a lot of these players are veterans, and you can't underestimate them. Hashtag closes out their draft with the Darkseer.
I like it.
We have seen this combination before, Mike. Darkseer plus Spirit Breaker vacuum into the charge for your AoE control. And you also have Leshrac who enjoys clumping people up. You have a lot of illusion spam coming out from Alpha X hashtag. So if they get that early momentum going, if they get their aggression on, which they can do quite effectively with the heroes they've picked up, they can snowball very hard.
They certainly can. I do love this coming out of Althex hashtag. Whether it works out or not is a different story. So I don't really think the safe lane Gyro is going to mind being up against the Darkseer that much. So in terms of laning, it's still questionable as to how that's going to go. Cignal Ultra though, one final pick. They are seemingly lacking something in the offlane. Though they do have an Ogre Abaddon that they can put either in. Maybe it's the last pick support, maybe it's the last pick mid, who the hell knows? Just very open for them.
Okay.
All
I
right.
like that. It works out quite well. That does mean we're not going to be seeing the Jamesy Rubik, are we? No, it's going to be the Jamesy Ember Spirit. So, core Rubik out of the question. Still, Ember Spirit wrapping up their draft quite nicely. That is one way to deal with the illusion spam coming out from Alpha X hashtag. And you have a lot of leeway here. You can certainly play around, get yourself out there. No instantaneous stuns coming out from hashtag. They're going to have to land their combinations with their Shadow Demon set up perfectly. Otherwise, it's going to be a very easy time for Jamesy to get out.
It's going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least. Of course, hashtag really just trying to get as many points as they can, and I believe this might be their final chance of the qualifiers to do so. In the group stage, that is. And yeah, it actually is. This is their last series of the closed qualifier group stages. Cignal Ultra looking to do the same. Right now, I believe they're in the third place spot. whereas AXH are in the 5th place. So Cignal do have an opportunity to try and force their way into the 2nd place and essentially replace GeekFam in that, force them down to the 3rd.
I think Cignal's currently number 2. I believe with that 2-0 loss for GeekFam, that should have Cignal up there because they're currently 1-1. So if they lose out in this, they're still tied up with GeekFam. If they win out or draw, that definitely pushes them above GeekFam.
Oh, you know what, John? I believe you are correct. Thank you, sir.
No problem, Mike.
That's why I pay you to have you here, John.
You don't pay me, Mike. No one pays me. Oh, that's a lovely joke, Mike. I'd rather you not joke about our labor conditions in the middle of a cast, but nonetheless, we are finally jumping in. That was a really long draft, wouldn't you say?
It certainly was. It did drag out for a bit, both teams using a lot of reserve time, but we are finally in. We get to see these lanes now. Van, the core Abaddon, is going to be the play here from side of Cignal.
And this is something we didn't talk about, but Miracle on that Lesh rack. So it's the safe lane Lesh. Pos 1, gonna give this guy to farm. Now, Miracle has played really well. I actually don't blame any of those losses on Miracle. He's done a fantastic job. He hits his timings every single time, especially in that last series.
He does.
But this time around on the Lesh, it's going to be interesting to see him. This is a very different sort of playstyle, much more focused on taking those early towers. So he's going to be looking to shove out lanes, try to find objectives, switch around a map, hopefully clear out those tier 1s early on. That's the key thing with Lesh. So you get that Diabolic Edict up, go around, melt those tier 1s, deny map control from Cignal, and that should give you a lot going. A big part of this match is going to be the vision game. You want to track where Paulison is charging to, so you have to keep an active eye on those wards. Alpha has to maintain them quite well to make sure they're not caught with their pants down.
Or AXH. Going to secure that bot boundary rune. And in fact, it looks like the AXH may be able to get 3 bounty runes out of this, although no, it will be a 2 for 2. Van will be able to steal the top bounty off the Leshrac Miracle. Of course, Miracle, at least for now, will be alone on the Leshrac, but I'm sure they'll TP someone up. AXH gonna try and deny this wave straight off the bat for the side of the Radiant and make it really awkward for Nando. And this is a very interesting strategy. Just iron shelling it down, shadow poisoning it down as well, and then now Nando's essentially forced to try and farm up underneath this tier 1 tower at the level 1 mark. And while I'm sure he's gonna be just fine in doing so, once you get that Darkseer Iron Shell going at level 2 or 3, it may become a lot more painful to try to do this.
Definitely. It does look like Nando has cleared out the entire wave, though, so he is actually super happy with that. He's cleared a wave uncontested, and that's one of the things that can cost you. Sure, you're getting EXP on your own, but the safe lane core is not being shut down like this.
Grims may end up being the first blood already as Velo going to continue the chase. The tier 2 is hitting very hard. Grims turns around now. They'll find the kill. They'll get the first blood. Grims will have his revenge thanks to that tier 2 tower. And Paulison will get a tap on the backside as he exits the building. Nice little start there for the Dire side though. But I agree with your sentiment. Nando is still essentially just going to free farm up on this gyrocopter. And although, again, once those iron shells are up, they can be more aggressive. It's not going to be great news if he's gotten that much farm by that point.
Definitely not. We've seen what Nando does early on with his farm. He is aggressive early on, although Alpha X is finding the kills.
They certainly are. Miracle getting aggressive with this Leshrac. And this is the kind of playstyle I love to see out of this player. Just because it seems like they've put him on the gyrocopter so many times at this point. I wanted to see him on something that's a bit more aggressive. Miracle certainly showing off a bit of a prowess on that Rubik kill. Also, farming decently, at least for now, with 4 last hits. Van has been a bit annoying with all these deniers coming out from himself. Miracle will just get back to it the best he can. Of course, the one lane we haven't. Looks like it was a deny at the tier 2, and yep, Winter just denies himself. Bot lane though, a charge going on. Olsen We'll cancel it off. It looks like he was just trying to get away from Grims and Eris who are chasing. He doesn't exactly run all the way though, and with that it looks like he will go down. Eris will be the one to pick up the kill on the Rubik. And meanwhile, top lane, Miracle gonna find another kill into Van, although no, the stick charges will be enough to survive. Winter could not hit that Shadow Poison, and Winter's copying way too much damage from that Tier 1 tower. So, a very close call for Van. He will survive in the end.
Yeah, it's a nice move coming out. You do expend a lot, though. You force that Rubik to rotate back top. He does have to salve up his Abaddon as well. And Van has eaten through his mangoes. This has been a rough laning stage for Alpha X overall. I don't think they're finding what they want with this aggression, especially in that bot lane. You'd expect a bit more pressure onto Nando, but again, he doesn't mind this creep coming out from Alpha X hashtag. In fact, it does seem like he's enjoying it. 22-2 now in terms of last hits.
Well, they haven't exactly applied much pressure. Grims is just making sure Nando's okay the whole time. The only issue is Grims is very low in XP on this Ogre, but that's kind of a positive for the Gyrocopter Nando, who's just getting all the XP he needs. He's level 4 now. He'll just move forward with the Rocket Barrage and Homing Missile. Paulson will cop it. Iron Shell is there, but it's not going to help Paulson's cause, and he does go down. Velo trying to find Grims, but being blocked up by Nando, and that is maybe not the play here, Velo. He tries to make a run for it. He gets a creep at the end, but he does give another kill away to Nando on the Gyro. And essentially, Nando can just get back to free farming if he really wants. Meanwhile, top lane, Van about to fall, though a Photic Shield will save him. Miracle and Winter will want to back out, though. No, never mind. He'll go back in. Eris try to harass him a little bit as he's walking back towards the lane. And, well, Edict is popped. Eris cannot sustain that much damage, and Miracle will easily pick up one kill. Van now going to be dived underneath his Tier 1 tower. Perhaps even the Tier 2 Split Earth doesn't really connect. Because of that, they will just be forced to back off. But Cignal... Eris? Ando going to end up finding another kill onto Velo. Paulson going to be able to TP out just in the nick of time. And what happened to Velo down at the bot lane, John?
He just died. he was just trying to contest Rune, and he died. That's all that happened, really. It was he tried to contest. Nando is level 5 with Phase Boots, so it doesn't quite work that way when the Gyrocopter can hit that hard with that much mana. Honestly, when we look to that last fight where he found those kills on Velo and on Paulson, I'm not sure if it was worthwhile because he missed out on an entire creep wave, which sounds like it's worth more than those heroes.
They may find the Ember though. Jamesy trying to outrun Paulson. Shrine will be there and he will actually survive. Just barely. Paulson. Close call for him to find that kill, but it's just not quite there. Now they might even turn it around. Grims, he'll be there. Throws out the Bloodlust first, waiting for the stun, and does throw it out eventually. Jamesy has level 1 chains, and with the Flame Guard, Paulson, he has to charge away. That is exactly what he does. Ultimately, he should be alright, unless he keeps charging up to that top lane, which that is exactly what he's going to do. He's going straight for Van, it looks like. Like, no, he was going for a creep. Van trying to outrun the Edict that is being produced by Miracle. And Van is just going to essentially get burnt alive by this Leshrac. Miracle now on a 3-0. This is a fantastic performance from him. Meanwhile, mid lane Jamesy, again going to be chased down. This time around, Nothing to Say wants to chase him. Nothing to Say, just stopping the creeps from going any further.
So all the lanes beside that bot lane seem to have been won out by Alpha X. This does come at a massive cost. You are getting good form on your Lesh. You have really won out on your Kunkka up against Jamesy's Ember Spirit. But Nando has had an amazing start. His Gyrocopter is set to really come online much faster than any other Gyro games we've seen so far. And if he maintains that momentum, he might be enough to really set the pace here.
Split Earth combination. Nando, though, will come in straight onto the Leshrac, and he does find the kill. Paulson, how do you get out of this one? You don't have charge available, so you just die. Nando with the double. John, this Gyrocopter, he is out of control. 401 is the kill score for Nando, and he is at 4.2k net worth. This is not the start that I wanted.
Definitely not. You have to consider again, the side lanes were won out. The other lanes were won out by Alpha X, but not as hard as Nando's been farming up. That's my main issue with these trades they've been giving out. Like, they might find this kill in Grims, perhaps, but that Ogre Magi is really worth nothing now.
Yeah,
And
Grims.
he's fine being worth nothing. Like,
Well,
this is great, but it's a waste of time, almost.
almost gets the deny off with the neutrals as well. Paulson will be the one to pick up that kill. Miracle did rotate down to the bot lane. It looks like he'll go after that T1 tower. So he's still finding some objectives across the map. Cignal Ultra, not so much for that T1 top. They'll just leave that be. Although Grims will TP down bot. And we'll actually get the deny off on the T1, so a nice little play from him. Now they may want to punish. Nothing to say. We'll run in. X is there with the boat. And this isn't the team fight Cignal wanted. Sleight of fist from Jamesy will do a little bit of damage. Eris just trying to outrun them, though he is just a Rubik, and it looks like nothing to say. We'll end up finding the kill on the Kunkka. At the very least, you got the deny off if you are Cignal Ultra.
Yeah, that's a much bigger win for Signal. Just denying that tower does take away a lot of gold on the map. And with a Leshrac, you really are depending on that early gold. Nice chains coming up from James. He's punishing Paulson's charge.
And, well, Paulson, he can TP out. The Fire Blast and Chains are on cooldown, though Miracle has rotated mid. He wants to find this Ember. Does a lot of damage, but the Remnant will be there. Now it looks like they look to pressure this T1 mid tower. This is just the beauty of the Leshrac. You can just keep moving around the map and doing this. There's nothing they can do about it. Van will TP as the Abaddon, but he's kind of underfarmed right now. It's kind of questionable how much work he can get done to defend. It does seem like the side of the Dire, though, AXH, they will just back off to safety anyway.
It's fair enough. Like, you've given enough time to Signal Ultra to reset, to get their defense up. Just secure yourself a better gold lead. Maybe wait for Miracle to head down to your lane. Is working to finish those BOTs to get that push going across the map.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
Nando gonna have a very, very quick Maelstrom up on this gyrocopter. And although the side of the Dire AXH, they are doing well now in terms of pushing the side of Cignal back, this problem still exists in the form of this gyro, and he just needs that javelin. He only needs a few hundred gold now. It's gonna be an 11-12 minute maximum Maelstrom up. His farm will escalate even further, and he'll have the BKB after that. And that's the point where you just don't have the control for Nando anymore, because you don't have anything that goes through this BKB that's going to be picked up.
You really don't. And a lot of your early damage is riding off the back of that magic that Miracle has. In fact, your entire kit is really magic right now. You're not going to be seeing a physical change soon. Eris,
They'll charge him up. Eris, he'll be okay for now. Boat being thrown out with the X, and he is going to go down eventually. They find the T1 as well, though. Nando, he wants to fight. Buyback is there from the Rubik. Nando going straight onto Velo on the Darkseer. Chains from Jamesy is perfect as well. Paulson, nice charge away. Looks like he will actually get away. Although, he's ticking down to something. It was just the boat rum wearing off. So, that'll be the end of that. Jamesy, he'll just get back to farming on the Ember. So will Nando on the gyrocopter. Speaking of, the Maelstrom I kept talking about, it is now available.
yeah, that's just going to boost his farm, as mentioned earlier. Just going to boost it by a pretty big amount. The key item to wait for is going to be that BKB to negate the damage coming out from Miracle. I'm surprised Miracle hasn't been pushing as much. They already took 2 tier 1s, which is pretty good. You really want to clear all of them out to maximize that gold lead. He does have his BOTs up, so he's going to be much more active on the map, trying to really shut it down for Cignal.
XH, smoke up. Straight into the Radiant side jungle. Grims may just be the target on the Ogre, though. He's a fairly tanky support to try and go after. They'd much rather Nando. They do charge him up. They have the vision in the tree line. Velo is there, now nothing to say. Throws in the X-Boat. Nando straight away with the call down, but there's a lot of damage already on Nando. Can he survive? Miracle misses the split earth, and Nando going for the TP play, though they never strike him up. Somehow he's still alive throughout all this. And it looks like he will actually get his way out. Van, he'll walk out with the borrowed time. And that's all 5 heroes of Alpha X hashtag trying to take down one position 1, and they do not get away with it.
I'm surprised Nando lived through that. He doesn't even have his BKB up. Imagine if he did. He'd actually just turn around and take that fight.
I mean, he kind of looked like he wanted to anyway. Winter drops Van. A Phonic Shield's already there anyway, so he's just going to be fine. And you have the drums up and available on Jamesy as well. You're of course going to have the double Maelstrom coming out from him. And I start to question the side of AXH, because while they've looked good throughout this early game, their heroes are just naturally going to drop off around that 30-minute mark, apart from maybe the Leshrac. But even then, we've already talked about how these BKBs will affect the gameplay that is the Leshrac. I just don't know if they're having enough impact quite yet to really push this game their way.
Definitely not. Like, there's a lot more work to be done here for Alpha X. I really want to see Miracle scale up a bit more. I want to see him a bit more active in the map. Start melting tier 2s by 20 minutes. If you miss out on that timing, you're just losing out.
You get charged up bot lane. Looks like this Ogre will end up going down. Nice little pick up there from AXH. Nothing to say. Actually has a full Shadow Blade up now. A lot of damage there on Jamesy with the Tidebringer. They are still trying to pursue this bot tier 2 tower, and they understand they need to get these objectives fast. X will come out from Eris on the Rubik. Well, they really want that tier 2. Van is copying a fair bit of damage, but he does have borrowed time available. And it looks like they may just be forced to back off anyway. You are at the 15-minute mark, and Banner Runes are up.
All this time is really just allowing Nando to farm his BKB safely. He just lacks the recipe now. So that's a lot of time bought out for our core gyro once again, giving him a wider net worth gap. 8.3k up against the Kunkka 7.7 in second place. Nando is still escalating quite a fair bit.
I mean, that's really all there is to say about this right now. The farm on AXH just isn't going to be there to contest once he does have it up. You can already see, like, Velo, he's still trying to get that Hood of Defiance up on the Darkseer as well. Been a bit of a rough time for him on the Darkseer, he just didn't have the greatest lane. Grim's, again, going to be the one to try and defend this bot lane. He's going to die to this boat. He just doesn't really seem to care too much, though. They will be able to find that tier 2 anyway. That is exactly what they've been waiting for in AXH. So they'll claim that, they'll back off. And I think it's about time perhaps they try to maybe smoke up and find another kill across the map on that position 1 or even the 2 Ember, if they can afford to.
They're probably not going to do it anytime soon. It doesn't look like they're set up for it. It looks like they are going to be waiting for Miracle to at least get one more item before they commit to a smoke. And they just go in to de-push the lane, but nothing but a group up just yet. Really surprising, considering Nothing to Say has had that Shadow Blade for a while. This is prime Kunkka time as well, to get those early kills going. It's just not happening yet.
Invisibility.
AXH, they do group up at that top lane.
That BKB is finally up for Nando. So next time these fights break out, He's just going to stand there. He's just going to lay on that damage. Miracle's damage will not factor in at all. He's going to lose effectivity up against this Gyrocopter immediately. Rather unfortunate that I don't think they really maximized that power spike from the Leshrac before that BKB was up. Now you're going to have to wait out until that BKB loses charges. Even then, 5 seconds might be enough for Nando to do what he needs to do.
And Miracle may actually get caught out, Grims. He was chasing, but looks like he is just on a bit of a warding mission himself on the Ogre. I mean, you really haven't got the physical DPS to take down this Gyro while BKB'd. Like, the Conker hits hard, just not hard enough. Miracle, he's just going to focus on finishing off that Yules. Perhaps if he can find the Yules into the Split Earth, it may make the difference, but even then it's a bit of a stretch, as now you have another Maelstrom, this time on Jamesy. So a lot of lightning in this game coming out from the side of Cignal. Kind of makes me ask the question, what's the play here from Alpha X hashtag? Like, that they're farming up, but they haven't got the lineup to contest later on. What's the game?
They're going to be riding. They're riding on the back of their Kunkka to grow big. If they are going late game, they do have strong team fight. You cannot underestimate the Vac Wall combination as your initiation, followed up by your Miracle Lesh. If you can land that massive stun, of course, it's very easy to melt people. They should be able to take this tier 1 up top.
Miracle ends up finding Eris, takes the T1 tower. Bot T1 also going down as Velo. Places the ward. Also ends up getting the pipe on the Darks here. Will stop the T1 push coming in. So Nando is actually sticking around. Bit of a dangerous position for him, but he will get out of there fine. Miracle. He could be in danger. He has Yules up, call down from Nando, a bit preemptive, he completely whiffs it, but he has the homing missile, he can chase down with the rocket barrage, and look at the damage! I mean, the Leshrac just melts! And now they found another, Polison's gonna get caught out. Chains though, out of range, Jamesy misses. Polison's still gonna be chased down, he'll have a charge available and he will at least survive, although maybe not. Van was there waiting. Will eventually just get taken down. But nothing to say. X up, Shadow Blade, gonna clear out the creep wave, but there is a siege creep there. Now Jamesy, both flies in, nothing to say. Can they burst him down on the Ember? He does not have remnants, and yeah, they absolutely can. Van now, borrowed time will be popped. A fighting shield used up as well. Van, he is basically up to full HP once again, and it looks like he'll have the help of his team anyway. So does he die? Well, actually he might, as they are not stopping on the side of AXH. They really want this kill. But it's just such a hard target to try and go for. They'll X him up again. They have another Torrent here, though. Torrent? Bit of a misclick, perhaps. Perhaps he was trying to predict where the Abaddon would go.
More than likely, yeah. But in the end, that is still a pretty even trade. I mean, it's been a very even game so far. We are at 11-11 at around 21 minutes in. A 1k net worth lead for Alpha X hashtag. They must be very happy with that Jamesy kill. Nonetheless, that is a lot of time bought out for Nando. He is at level 19 now at 21 minutes in. Working towards that Ags, and in fact, is it flying out already? Yes. He has his Aghanims up, he has his BKB, still a 10-second charge.
Well, that's pretty bad news for AXH anyway. On the brighter side, Blink is up now on Miracle, so you've got some decent mobility on this Leshrac. He can jump in and really start setting up for his team. It's like bot lane, they are going after the Ember once again. Jamesy getting caught out. Remnant is there though. Nice charge from Polison, and he will actually finish off the kill. Van couldn't get the Aphotic Shield off in time. Now the X will come out from nothing to say. They'll connect the Torrent as well. He does have borrowed time available, so he's going to at least drag out a lot of time. But this should definitely be AXH's kill, though Eris does come in. So it looks like they want to try and turn this one around and find Cignal. Who do they go after? Velo, he'll be the target. Homing missile. In fact, Eris, he gets taken down almost. The fighting shield will keep him alive. Nando gets Velo. Eris is taken out by Nothing to Say. Now Vance surviving throughout all of this. Paulison dropping pretty darn low himself. Nothing to Say wants to get out of there. Looks like Paulison should drop though. Miracle will come back in. BKB still available. Nando, he wants to go for that one. That is the main priority target, and the call down will come in. Does he have the damage? Not quite. One more right click would have done it. They can't find the Son of the Conqueror either.
Oh.
Paulison ends up going down.
I think there's an auto attack chasing him.
Bit of bad luck for Paulison. Still though, a decent team fight for AXH. They got a 2-for-3 trade. Ultimately, they don't lose anyone too big on their side.
Definitely so. The biggest shame is that Miracle did go out, so good on him. Not the biggest loss for AXH. Gonna be happy that their core Lesh at least lives true, but you are starting to see the issues in these fights. They can't quite take them as cleanly as they want. They are very happy with the Jamesy kill, however. But I'm sure once he has his yields up, it's gonna be much harder to pin this guy in place. So that is going to be the next item to watch out for here from Alpha X hashtag.
Nothing to Say as well. AC coming up on the Conquer. Gonna be pretty darn tanky, this mid Conquer. Will also help in dealing with this gyrocopter with all the flak cannons flying around. But Nando has finished off the full Mjolnir now. And he'll have it out on the courier in just a moment. I kind of wonder, does he just rush the Satanic next? Like Nando's going to be trying to finish off those Guardian Greaves. Velo's going to be trying to finish off those Guardian Greaves on the Darks here. Nando just going to run into all of them. Banner runes are up in a second, so they want to fight for these, but they'd also love to take a team fight. Nando has been controlled up for the moment. Velo going to be chased down. He does not want to allow this Dark Sea to go. Now the call down. Miracle though comes in. He hasn't BKB'd up yet. He's out of mana on the gyro, but Jamesy is here. Now the back wall comes out. Velo is so darn low. The Remnant forward, they'll find him. The flak cannon's going everywhere as well. And Nando is now 8-0 with 3 assists. And he's going for even more. He's just by himself chasing this Leshrac. Miracle has friends around. Blink will be there. He'll wait it out. He doesn't have a TP though. And another homing missile comes out. So they still have vision.
Oh, no.
Miracle. He thought it was over. It's not quite. And with that, they will find the Leshrac in the end. That'll make it 16-15. 26 minutes into this game. Slight net worth lead for the side of Cignal Ultra. And win probability is actually 50-50 right now. Is dead in the center.
This game has been pretty close overall. I don't blame Dota Plus for seeing it that way. You have to consider the timings though, the power spikes coming out, Alpha X hashtag. It does feel like they've missed a window with their Leshrac. However, they have a lot of room to grow with their Kunkka, a lot of room to go with their Darkseer, and these heroes are going to be what sets the pace for them in these team fights next. So you have to reinvest your resources onto these heroes, hope that they can land a fair bit in these big team fights. You're just worried right now. Nando is way too big. He has his Mjolnir up. He has had that BKB for a while. He has had the Ags for a while as well. He is inching towards that level 25 talent, so he could have all the homing missiles in the world, or the global call down to really farm out lanes. And that just escalates him even more, working towards finishing that Satanic next. And once that's up, you have nothing to stop him from lifestealing besides control, but none of that control goes through BKB.
That is really the story of this game. Cignal. Gonna go into that Roshan pit now. Very easy Roshan to take. AlphaX hashtag not in a position to try and counter this, but they're going to give it a shot. Nothing to say. Has the turret, has the boat available to throw out, or at least give vision. Jamesy, though, taking care of the Leshrac outside of the base. Pollison going to charge back in. Bello coming in for the war, but he's copying a lot of damage. Pollison, he would at least get the Nether Strike out, but it looks really bad for the side of AlphaX hashtag. They found one in the Spirit Breaker. Aegis on Nando. Jamesy solo, but not low enough. He'll get out of there safely. Winter, could he be the next target? No, of course, you go for Miracle first on the Leshrac, and Winter tries to go for the TP play. Looks like he will not make it out as Nando does find the kill, and they'll find more. Nothing to say on the Kunkka going down as well. And that's going to be 20-15, 5k net worth lead. Aegis available on Nando. He almost has a full Satanic up now.
That's just going to be probably the high ground being sieged out here by Cignal Ultra. Hashtag has no response. They already wasted their combination from their Darkseer. And Nando in that pit was just multitasking. He was hitting the Roche, but with Flak Cannon, he slowly drained out the life of Paulson as well. So that is some impressive efficiency from our Gyrocopter.
Go for one, or go for two. Two Raxes go the way of Cignal Ultra. Just no contention for these Raxes either. Nando gonna go in. Winter probably gonna get cleaned up, though he does throw out the Purge, but there's the BKB again. Winter will buy back. The damage has already been done. Nando, he'll walk out. In fact, they might turn around. The cooldown's there. Nando, yeah, he just runs back in. He still has the Aegis. Boat will fly out. He doesn't have BKB any longer, but Winter, that's going to be a dieback on the Shadow Demon. Miracle falling pretty darn low. Paulson trying to get out, but there's the Fire Blast. Nothing to say, tries to hit them once, but it means nothing to them. Nando just goes back in mid for the range. Nice double chains from Jamesy. 3 remnants flying in. The vac really does nothing. Miracle does get taken down. Bello, he'll be the secondary, and that's going to be GG well played coming out as Cignal Ultra take a decisive victory in the first game of this best of 2 series.
It really was quite the showing from Cignal Ultra. They do manage to get that momentum going from early on. It was fairly tight for a while. AlphaX hashtag was finding those early kills across the map. They left Nando alone for way too long, and the guy just does way too much damage if you let him be. So perhaps something they should correct the next time. If they are going to win out in their other lanes, you have to make sure that enemy safe laner is not winning more than you are. Because granted, they got Miracle that early space, but Nando was like 2 levels ahead despite all those early kills on our Leshrac.
Certainly. Of course, it is game 1 of a best of 2, so we do still have game 2 to go between these two. We'll be back very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen, to see how game 2 turns out. It is MLP Dota and John X Fire. We'll see you all very, very soon.